name's Ronan Sayburn. I'm a Master Sommelier. I'm based in London. I've worked for the last 20 years in the wine trade. A lot of that time I've been working as the head sommelier or executive sommelier for the Gordon Ramsay Group. I've worked for the Dorchester Hotel. I've worked for the Hotel de Man Group. I've worked at various Michelin star restaurants throughout London, and I got my Master Sommelier in 2005. It's a vast subject. It's a big subject, and I think these things, they take time. They can take years. Really, what it is it's building on year after year. It's kind of like, in a way, it's becoming a very good chef. You can't do it overnight. You've got to do it. You've got to taste carefully. You've got to taste a lot. You've got to travel a lot. You've got to read a lot. You've got to write your information. You've got to make notes all the time. You've got to get really good at tasting and practice your tasting a lot of the time, doing tasting blind with colleagues. Never be worried about getting wines wrong. Believe me, as a Master Sommelier, with the many tastings and got the wines wrong, it's not the point. But yeah, taste a lot orally, speak about the wines, talk about the wines, try and work out your conclusions with the wine, and then just study. And don't expect that it's going to happen overnight. It won't. It'll take years to achieve the Master Sommelier qualification. So start off small, tasting a lot with your staff, with your friends, with your colleagues. Read as much as you can, write as much as you can, travel as much as you can. Really try and absorb as much as you can as the wine world. It's good if you're working in a big restaurant that has a good wine list and a big wine list, and you get the opportunity to try a lot. But I think it's very good, if you can, from South Korea, if you can go and live somewhere like France, or maybe go and live in Spain or Italy or London, or the sort of wine centres, places like Copenhagen, places like Paris, big cities where they have international hotels with big wine lists and very interesting wines, and go there for a few years, taste as much as you can, and really sort of absorb as much as you can. I think one thing about the Master Sommelier is that it's not always becoming the Master Sommelier that's important. It's the journey that takes you from starting out and eventually getting to Master Sommelier. It's the journey that's the most important thing. So sometimes you see people that might get the Master Sommelier quite quickly, but the best thing is to take it slowly, build up upon your knowledge, and by the time that you've been in this trade for 10 years or so, you've really got a very deep knowledge and a very fine tasting palate. So it's not going to be easy to pass the Master Sommelier, but we've only 214 in the world now, so it means it is hard. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, but you will find when you are a Master Sommelier, you've reached a level of understanding which is incredible. So I think what's very important is very early on, figure out a good tasting technique. So work out the structure of how you want to taste, and then just practice that all the time. And then after 4 or 5 years, you'll be a really good taster. But that means writing well, writing good tasting notes, writing concise tasting notes, and talking about the wines, and trying to figure out if it's dry or if it's sweet, and why it's dry or sweet, and what climate that could come from, and what the acidity means to you, or what the tannin means to you, or the amount of oak that's in the wine. So I like being a detective, trying to figure out what all those different things mean to you, and when you bring that into line with your knowledge, you should be able to spot wines blind. So I think the most important thing is just be very passionate about what you want to do, because it will take a lot of passion and a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication.